Last November, Scott Peters won the seat over Brian Bilbray in one of the most closely watched races in California. Since then, he's represented San Diego's 52nd Congressional District, which stretches from Poway through La Jolla, Claremont, downtown, and into Coronado. Congressman Scott Peters, welcome back.
Thanks, Peggy.
Let's start with the big news of today. Earlier this morning, U.S. Secretary of State John Kerry presented overwhelming evidence on chemical weapons used by Assad's government regime, I should say, against his own citizens. He quoted 1,400 of that country's citizens were killed in those chemical attacks, as well as including more than 400 children. Right. How would you like the U.S. to proceed on this issue?
Well, this is an issue of great concern, and we hate to see this kind of atrocity where people are gassing their own children, their own citizens. And so I think it may very well call for a response. The one thing I would say is we want to make sure we have good information. We don't want another Iraq where we acted on bad information. We ought to have a plan for what we're going to do and what that's supposed to achieve. And we ought to make sure that we're not getting into another quagmire. So it'd be my preference that we Congress have a chance to talk this over with the president when we're back in D.C.
Which is on the 9th.
Which is on the 9th
not
September.
Sooner.
Right.
All right. The president did say he was going to move forward cautiously. Would you support a military strike?
I would support him moving forward cautiously. Again, I think we have to have an understanding of what we're trying to accomplish and what the results will be, what the after effects will be of any kind of strike.
Okay, let's talk about what's happening in D.C. The Senate signed an immigration reform bill back in June. A lot of advocates say the bill might have a better chance of passing the House if it's been sliced into separate pieces. What do you think?
I don't think so. I think, the Senate bill is already a compromise. It's got a tremendous amount of border security, which was an interest of the Republicans, and then it legalizes and offers a path to citizenship, a long path to citizenship, which was one of the conditions that the Democrats in the Senate imposed, and they came up with a compromise. So it seems to me that the best chance for action in the House is not to slice and dice it, but to bring something that's very much like the Senate bill to the floor.
Will you vote in support of it?
I would vote for the Senate bill. If I could adjust it, I would kind of move some of the border security away from this building of a new wall toward helping us with trade. The Chamber of Commerce in San Diego, their biggest interest is in fixing our border crossing in San Ysidro, because the trade delays there are holding up job creation and our economy. I'd like to spend some of the money that we're about to spend on the wall on more customs agents rather than border agents, and more gates rather than just more fencing.
Okay, and
but if that's all I had, I would vote for the Senate bill.
Okay, yeah. Good to know. Now, sequestration, the president presents his budget to Congress next month. Republicans have said they're going to keep sequestration cuts. They want to defund Obamacare. Do you see any opportunities or areas of compromise with the budget?
I hope so. I think we ought to know better by now. Look, I mean, the Obamacare was passed, the Affordable Care Act was passed before I was in Congress, was passed by Congress, signed by the president, survived a Supreme Court challenge, and 40 repeal votes. It's time now to figure out how to make it work. What we're doing in the district this month is we're offering a set of seminars for small businesses, for seniors, for women, on women's health, to show them how they can interact with this, if this will be helpful here in San Diego. Because we know it's coming. We have to make it work. We got to stop doing all the politics. This is just more of that, and it's not going to work.
So focus on moving forward?
Absolutely, and doing a real budget. Let's sit down and negotiate a compromise between the Senate and the House budgets, something that the president could sign.
Okay, 6 recent national polls on Americans on both sides of the aisle there gave Congress a job approval rating of just 15%. Now, this is just your first year, but why do you think that is?
Well, it's because we're not getting anything done. And I think, sometimes people joke, who are those 15%? Are they just friends and family? The fact is that we're in for another unproductive Congress. I have hopes for September and October that we'll come to our senses and maybe compromise on a budget, on immigration, and on tax reform, where there's a lot of agreement. If we would just sit down and make progress, we could do it.
Maybe raise that ranking a little bit. Bob Filner, I need to ask you about this before we go here. So what was the word back in D.C.?
Well, of course, the talk in Congress in June and July was all about our former members, Mr. Weiner and Mr. Filner, which is a shame. And I'm glad that Bob's moved on. I had hoped that he would resign before all these poor women had to come out and and make public these awful stories and this pain that was caused them through no fault of their own. But now we're through that, and it's time to move on. I'm glad we are, and look forward to finding our new mayor.
All righty. Do you have anyone you support for new mayor?
Well, the only person who's declared so far is a good friend of mine, Nathan Fletcher. I think he's a person with outstanding leadership qualities. He'd make a great mayor, and probably next week I'll make an announcement about who I'm supporting when everyone's in.
All right. Well, Congressman Scott Peters, thanks so much for talking with us.
Thanks, Peggy.